Hello, myself Khyati Gupta. In this video lecture, we will talk about adverse drug reactions. We will discuss these three topics through this lecture. First is definition of terms associated with adverse drug reactions. Next is classification of adverse drug reactions, and we will discuss each type of adverse drug reaction with examples. Okay. Now, first is definitions, in which first is adverse event. Adverse event is an unwanted medical occurrence that may present during treatment with a pharmaceutical product, right? But which does not necessarily have a causal relationship with this treatment. Okay, so adverse drug event is the situation which is the medical situation that occurs during the treatment with a pharmaceutical product, but this situation and pharmaceutical product has no necessarily causal relationship. Okay, now second is adverse drug reaction. Any noxious change which is suspected to be due to a drug occurs at doses normally used in men, requires treatment, or decrease in dose, or indicates caution in future use of the same drug, right? So what is adverse drug reaction? It is due to any drug, particular drug, right, at a normal dose. Okay, and this adverse drug reaction need or require a treatment. Okay, or it require a decrease in the dose, or it indicates caution in future use. Okay, so it is adverse drug reaction. Now an adverse event is an adverse drug reaction, but the adverse drug reaction is not an adverse event, because the product and situation has no any causal relationship, right? So adverse drug reaction is an adverse event, but adverse event is not an adverse drug reaction. Okay, now if you administer any drug and the product develops a new condition or symptom, that you can say adverse drug reaction, right? If drug is suspected, okay, this adverse drug reaction is due to a drug, right? If yes, then you can check literature. Okay, if the drug is documented in literature for that product or similar class of product, right, then it is highly suggestive of adverse drug reaction. Okay, now if not documented in the literature, you have two options. If you continue the drug and the symptoms are worsening, then you have to think that any other possible causes are there or not, right? And you have to give a concomitant therapy for underlying conditions. Okay, next, second option is if you discontinue the drug and symptoms improve, then it is positive de-challenge. Okay, and if you restart the drug and symptoms reoccur, it is called positive re-challenge, right? Now this figure shows that adverse drug events are not adverse drug reactions, but adverse drug reactions are adverse drug events, because adverse drug events no need to have a causal relationship, but adverse drug reactions has causal relationship with that particular product. Okay, adverse drug reactions classification is depending on onset of event, type of reaction, severity, and others, right? Now onset of event, right? If you see any adverse drug reaction within 60 minutes of administration of drug, right, this adverse drug reaction is called acute. If you see it within 24 hours, it is subacute, and within 2 days if it is seen, then it is called latent adverse drug reaction. Okay, type of reaction means type A, it is called augmented reaction. B indicates bizarre reaction. C indicates chemical reaction. D for delayed reaction. E for exit reaction. F for familial reaction. G for genotoxicity. H for hypersensitivity, and U for unclassified adverse drug reaction. Okay, on the basis of severity, if the adverse drug reactions are less and less severe, right, it is called minor. Then moderate, if more severe, it is called severe, and lethal adverse drug reaction, right? If the adverse drug reaction is a reason for death of any patient, right, it is called lethal adverse drug reaction. Others are side effects, secondary effects, toxic effects, intolerance, idiosyncrasy, drug allergy, photosensitivity, drug dependence, drug withdrawal reaction, teratogenicity, mutagenicity, carcinogenicity, etc. Right? This classification, type A to type U, it is done or classified by Wills and Brown scientists. Okay. Now, type A or augmented reaction. These reactions are predicted from the known pharmacology of drug, and these reactions are dose dependent, that can be decreased by a dose reduction. Okay, for example, anticoagulants, right? Anticoagulants drugs inhibit coagulation of blood, right? But if the dose of drug is more increased, right, at the larger dose, and if the therapy is used for longer duration, bleeding is the side effect of this type of drug, right? Beta blockers, generally it is used for arrhythmia, but at large dose and for longer duration, if it is used, it can cause bradycardia. Same as nitrates cause headache, and prazosin, which is a antihypertensive drug, it can cause postural hypotension. Now, bizarre reaction that cannot be predicted from the pharmacology of drug. These are not dose dependent, but these are host dependent reactions. Means host dependent factors are important in predisposition, right? For example, if you administer penicillin in 5 patients, that all 5 patients cannot show anaphylaxis reaction, but some patient that are hypertensive patient, or sorry, hypersensitive patient, they can show anaphylaxis reaction in opposed to penicillin, right? As it is anticonvulsant drug shows hypersensitivity reactions. Chemical reactions, biological characteristics can be predicted from the chemical structure of the drug, right? Like paracetamol, it shows hepatotoxicity because of its structure. Okay. Next is delayed reaction. As name suggests, delayed reaction occur after many years of the treatment. It can be due to accumulation of drug, right? If you administer any drug into the body, and if it cannot excrete 100% from the body, it will accumulate in your body, right? And this accumulation, when it reaches to a toxic level, right, it will show adverse drug reactions like chemotherapy. It is used for anti cancer treatment, right? This chemotherapy can cause secondary tumors in future. Okay, phenytoin during pregnancy, it can cause teratogenic effects, and antipsychotics cause tardive dyskinesia, which is a side effect of antipsychotic medications, right? Analgesics can cause nephropathy. Okay. Next is type E reactions, which is an end of treatment reaction. Okay, occur on withdrawal, especially when the drug is stopped abruptly. Okay, if you suddenly stop any drug treatment, the adverse drug reaction, it is type E adverse drug reaction, right? For example, phenytoin, which is used for seizures, right? If you withdraw phenytoin, right, seizures will occur. Steroid withdrawal can occur adrenocortical insufficiency. Okay. Now, next classification is depending on severity. Okay. Minor adverse drug reaction does not need any therapy. Antidote or prolongation of hospitalization is required. Okay. If minor adverse drug reactions are there, then it doesn't need any therapy, right? Next is moderate adverse drug reactions, requires change in drug therapy, specific treatment, or prolongs hospital stay by at least 1 day. Okay, if you are admitted in hospital for any disease treatment, right, and adverse drug reactions if moderate adverse drug reactions are seen, you have to stay there for more 1 day. Okay, severe adverse drug reaction like potentially life threatening, causes permanent damage or requires intensive medical treatment. Okay, and lethal adverse drug reactions directly or indirectly contributes to death of the patient. Okay, next is side effects. Side effects are unwanted but often unavoidable, right? Pharmacodynamic effects that occur at therapeutic doses, right? Predicted from pharmacological profile of drug and known to occur in a given percentage of drug recipients. Okay. Side effects based on therapeutic effect, like atropine. Okay, atropine's physiological effect is it is anti-secretory effect, right? Because of its anti-secretory effect, dryness of mouth occur. Okay, and acetazolamide, which is a diuretic and excrete bicarbonate, and therefore it will cause acidosis, right? So it is based on its therapeutic effect. Side effect based on the different action, like promethazine, which is an anti-allergic drug. It can cause sedation, and estrogen cause nausea. Okay, depending on the context. Codeine, which is an antitussive drug, it can cause constipation. So it is used in travelers' diarrhea. Okay. Drug discovery. Occasionally, adverse effect may be exploited to develop an entirely new indication for drug. Okay, like if minodoxil, it is used for treatment of any other disease. We have seen unwanted hair growth during minodoxil therapy, right? So now we are using minodoxil for development of hair growth, right? Sildenafil. It is initially developed as anti-anginal drug, but its effects to alleviate erectile dysfunction, right? So this is now used for indication in erectile tissue. Sulfonamides, used as antibacterials, were found to produce hypoglycemia and acidosis as side effects. Therefore, development of hypoglycemic sulfonylureas were there, and carbonic anhydrase inhibitor acetazolamide. Okay, so from the side effect we can use that drug for that particular disease. Okay, now secondary effects, indirect consequences of a primary action of a drug. For example, tetracyclines that can cause a suppression of bacterial flora, and therefore the resulting effect is superinfection. Okay, corticosteroids weaken host defense and therefore activation of latent tuberculosis. Okay, so this is secondary effect, which indirect consequences of primary action of the drug. Now toxic effects, result of excessive pharmacological action of the drug due to overdosage or prolonged use. Okay, if you are using any drug for a longer duration and in larger doses, the toxic effects may develop. Okay, overdosage may be absolute or relative. Okay, absolute means accidental or suicidal, and relative means like gentamicin in renal failure. Okay, result from extension of therapeutic effect, like barbiturates, if you are continuing, right, then it can cause coma. Digoxin, it is used in MI, right, but myocardial infarction, right, but if you are using it for longer duration and in larger doses, it can cause complete AV block. Heparin can cause bleeding. Okay, heparin, as it is a anticoagulant, but if you are using it in large doses for longer duration, it can cause bleeding. Second is functional alteration, right? Atropine can cause delirium. Okay, and drug induced tissue damage like paracetamol can causes uh, hepatic necrosis. Okay. Paracetamol, as it is a hepatotoxic drug, but it is used if for longer duration, it can cause hepatic necrosis. Now, intolerance, appearance of characteristics toxic effects of a drug in an individual at therapeutic doses, right? If you are using any drug at therapeutic doses, then it shows any adverse effect. It is intolerance, right? Converse of tolerance indicates a low threshold of the individual, right? This intolerance is 100% dependent on that patient factor. If that patient has a low threshold of drug, right? It's his tolerance is less, then this intolerance can develop. Okay, for example, triflupromazine, if you use it in single dose, then muscular dystonia in some individual occurs, right? Muscular dystonia means involuntary muscle contractions that cause repetitive or twisting movements. Then carbamazepine can cause ataxia in some individuals at few doses also. Okay, and chloroquine, which is used as anti-malarial, if you are using a single tablet, then the patient shows vomiting and abdominal pain, right? So this type of reactions are 100% patient dependent, right? And it is called intolerance. Okay, idiosyncrasy, genetically determined abnormal reactivity to a chemical, right? Certain bizarre drug effects due to peculiarities of an individual for which no defined genotype has been described are also included. Drug interacts with some unique feature of the individual not found in majority of subject and produces the uncharacteristic reaction. Okay, so genetically determined abnormal reactivity to a chemical, right? If any chemical is uh, abnormal genetically, right? Idiosyncrasy reactions are seen, right? For example, barbiturates. It shows excitement and mental confusion in some individuals. Quinine can cause cramps, diarrhea, asthma, vascular collapse in some individuals. So, this type of reactions are based on their genotype. Okay. Next is drug allergy, immunologically mediated reaction producing stereotype symptoms unrelated to the pharmacodynamic profile of the drug. Generally occur even with much smaller doses, also called drug hypersensitivity, right? So, if the drug uh, unrelated to pharmacodynamic profile, if it is uh, immunologically mediated reaction producer, okay, then it is called a drug allergy, right? In small doses, drug allergy can occur, right? So it is called drug hypersensitivity also, right? For example, immediate or anaphylactic reaction because of immunoglobulin G, right? Penicillins are showing anaphylaxis reaction in some patient which are allergic to penicillin, right? Cytotoxic antibody like methyl dopa cause hemolytic anemia in some individuals. Type 3 serum sickness or antigen antibody complex, right? For example, procainamide can induce lupus. And fourth is delayed hypersensitivity because of T cell. It can cause contact dermatitis, right? So this is a drug allergy. Now, photosensitivity, cutaneous reaction resulting from drug-induced sensitization of the skin to UV radiation. If your skin comes in contact with UV radiation, the two type of reaction can be started, right? First is phototoxic and second is photoallergic. Now, phototoxic means drug or its metabolite accumulates in the skin which absorb light and undergoes a photochemical reaction resulting in local tissue damage like sunburn. Okay, so if the drug or its metabolite accumulate under the layer of the skin, it will absorb the UV light and will undergo a photochemical reaction and it will cause a local tissue damage, right? For example, edema or hyperpigmentation can be occur. Okay, tetracycline and Tapro products or nalidixic acid or fluoroquinolones or sulfones. These are the drugs that can cause phototoxicity, right? Second is photoallergic. Drug or its metabolite induces a cell-mediated immune response, which on exposure to light produces a popular or eczematous contact dermatitis like picture, right? For example, sulfonamides or sulfonylureas or griseofulvine, chloroquine, etc. can cause or induces a cell-mediated immune response on exposure of UV light. Okay. Next is drug dependence. Now, this is classified into two class. First is psychological dependence and second is physical dependence, right? You have seen if any patient is uh, which has a फिजिकल डिपेंडेंस ऑफ ड्रग, राइट? इफ दैट पेशेंट, अगर वो पेशेंट वो ड्रग नहीं लेता है तो वो चल भी नहीं पाता है, राइट? इट इज अ फिजिकल डिपेंडेंस. एंड साइकोलॉजिकल डिपेंडेंस, individual believes that optimal state of well-being is achieved only through the action of the drug, right? जो भी पेशेंट है वो कोकेन और ऑपियोइड्स के एडिक्टेड है, राइट? That patient have to take that drug and then they will feel well, right? It is psychological dependence. Physical dependence, altered physiological state produced by repeated administration of a drug which necessitates the continued presence of the drug to maintain the psychological equilibrium, right? If we discontinue the drug, it will result in a characteristic withdrawal syndrome, right? For example, opioids, barbiturates, alcohol and benzodiazepines are the drug to that the patients are addicted. Okay. Drug abuse. Use of a drug by self-medication in a manner and amount that deviates from the approved medical and social patterns in a given culture at a given time, right? If you are taking any type of medication by yourself, right? It is not prescribed or the amount is not prescribed, the drug is called abused, right? Drug abuse refers to any use of an illicit drug. Next is drug addiction. Compulsive drug use characterized by overwhelming involvement with the use of the drug. And drug habituation, less intensive involvement with the drug. Withdrawal produces only mild discomfort, right? So there is a minor difference between drug addiction and drug habituation. Drug habituation in which drug withdrawal produces only mild discomfort, right? But in drug addiction, withdrawal of the drug produces severe reactions, right? Drug withdrawal reaction, sudden interruption of therapy with certain drugs result in adverse consequences, mostly in the form of worsening of the clinical condition for which the drug was being used, right? For example, if you are using beta blockers as an anti-anginal drug, right? If you are withdrawing beta blockers, then worsening of angina can occur, right? Or precipitation of myocardial infarction can occur, right? So it is called drug withdrawal reaction. Okay. Next is teratogenicity. Capacity of drug to cause fetal abnormalities when administered to the pregnant mother. Okay. If you are using any drug for a pregnant lady, you have to use the drug with caution, right? If the drug is teratogenic, then the fetus has to suffer. Okay. Drug can affect the fetus at 3 stages. First is fertilization and implantation. Conception to 17 days, right? If you are administer any drug within the conception to 17 days of conceivers, right, then failure of pregnancy may occur. Okay. Organogenesis, 18 days to 55 days, most vulnerable period. Deformities are produced, and growth and development greater than 56 days. then developmental and functional abnormalities can occur, right? For example, if anti-cancer drugs are administered with a pregnant lady, right, then his baby has to suffer with cleft palate or hydrocephalus or multiple defects. And hydrocephalus means accumulation of cerebrospinal fluid occurs within the brain, right? If you are treating the pregnant lady with ACE inhibitors, then hypoplasia of the organs, right? Underdevelopment of the organ like lungs and kidney can occur, right? So this is teratogenicity. Next is mutagenicity and carcinogenicity. Capacity of drug to cause genetic defects and cancer respectively, right? If the drug causes genetic defects, it is called mutagenic drug, and if it cause cancer, right, it is carcinogenic drug. Okay. Now, drug-induced disease. It is also called iatrogenic or physician-induced disease. Functional disturbances caused by drugs which persist even after the offending drug has been withdrawn and largely eliminated, right? If the drug is discontinued and then after, if any functional disturbances are there, right, the drug is iatrogenic drug, right? For example, salicylates or corticosteroids can cause peptic ulcer. Okay, if you discontinue the drug, peptic ulcer does not resolve, right? You have to treat peptic ulcer with other drug, right? Isoniazid, hepatitis, and phenothiazines and other antipsychotics can cause Parkinsonism. Okay, so this is all about adverse drug reactions. Thank you.